Today we're comparing two of Mexico's most picture-perfect colonial cities, San Miguel de Allende and the equally stunning Merida. On the surface, they look similar. Colorful streets, great food, and plenty of amazing things to see. But what people don't realize is that depending on which city you choose, the kind of trip you have in each place is completely different. We've spent several months in both cities, and today we're going to share how they stack up against each other. And by the end of this video, you'll know which of these incredible places is the best fit for your trip. Let's start by jumping into San Miguel de Allende.
All right, so we're kicking things off by comparing these two towns' vibes. And I know the word vibe is pretty vague, but I also think it's one of the most important factors when you're figuring out which one of these two cities is best for you. So what is San Miguel's vibe? Well, I think it's first very eclectic. So it's a little bit bohemian and artsy. There's the iconic art center Fábrica La Aurora, boutique galleries, streets lined with incredible murals, and funky places to hang out and chat about what you just saw. And then the other part of San Miguel's vibe is historic and charming. So of course you have the cobblestone streets, the colorful colonial center, and the local mojigangas that make an appearance from time to time. If you don't know what mojigangas are, besides for being very fun to say, they're also very fun to see. They're these amazing like paper mache figurines that people put on top and kind of walk around the city. And they're very local to this area. And I think they kind of tie together both like the cultural and artistic vibes of San Miguel. So besides for like those two vibes coming together, I think the last part of this town that makes it unique is just like a sprinkling of cosmopolitan sophistication. And I think some people do consider, a lot of cars here, San Miguel to be like a little bit too upscale and posh and maybe not like the real Mexico. I don't totally agree with that, and we'll let you decide.
And I'll just end that by saying that this is easily one of the most beautiful and photogenic places we have seen anywhere in the world. Honestly, there's something really special about being here in the afternoon during sunset time with the light and the mountains. And I know that sounds super cheesy, but you'll understand what I'm saying when you come here. It's really special. And now let's compare the vibe to Merida, which is a city that we call home for almost a year.
Yeah, so Merida is a completely different kind of city, and I think the first thing to know is that it is the capital of the state of Yucatan, so that should already give you a sense that it brings a different kind of energy.
Yeah.
And I think the population is over 1 million people, so compared to San Miguel, which is like a little bit more refined, I think what Merida brings is like just really kind of a little bit more chaotic energy. So to define Merida's vibe, we'd call it cultural and adventurous. Now, to be sure, we also do think that the colonial center in Merida does give San Miguel a run for its money.
For sure.
It is absolutely gorgeous. Mm-hmm. But what makes it unique is that the Mayan culture and heritage there is still so present. So even though it has many of the nice things that San Miguel has, in Merida, it's much easier to find yourself in places where you're like, okay,
yeah,
this is somewhere different.
Yeah.
For example, if you go to the biggest market in Merida and kind of like get lost and like really get in there, you're really likely to hear like Mayan dialects, which is very special. And the whole market itself is just pure, beautiful chaos. It's just disorganized, kind of like what you would expect from a capital city market. It's just madness.
When we lived in Merida, we used to love going to the center and we were just amazed by our surroundings because it felt imperfect but beautiful, and it was such a beautiful like merge of daily life with tourism because it is like a touristy city. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's better or worse in this case. Like the vibe is just different.
Yeah, I think San Miguel is more polished, and then Merida, I'd say, is more adventurous.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Before we get into what really starts to separate these two cities, I wanted to let the girls out there know that if you struggle to pack light, I can help you craft your perfect carry-on packing list. So if you go to the link in the description or the first pinned comments, you'll see a link to a quiz that if you answer 2 questions, I can tell you exactly how many tops, how many bottoms, how many dresses, how many shoes to pack, because I do this for a living and it's really fun. So if you think that traveling with carry-on is challenging or impossible, I promise it's totally doable. It doesn't matter if you're going to Merida or San Miguel, I can tell you exactly what to pack. So make sure to check it out by clicking the link in the description or the first pinned comment, and that's it. Now, let's continue comparing Merida and San Miguel.
Yeah, so where these cities really start to differ is with what you're actually going to do with your time. And with this, I really do think things start to separate. So one of these places is really designed for like, I don't know, a shorter trip, a weekend visit, and one can keep you busy for an entire week. In San Miguel, the city is the main attraction, and it's pretty close to being the only attraction. So if you come here, you're really going to spend all your time just wandering around the historic center, checking out some of the delicious restaurants, the galleries, the shops, and ending your evening somewhere with a view of the parroquia at sunsets. And we also like the Mercado Ignacio Ramirez for a genuinely local market experience.
But here's the thing about San Miguel, and like stick with us here because even though the list of things to do is not huge, that is part of the beauty. That is why some people love coming here because you don't have the pressure to check out like a gazillion sites. You just get to have time to enjoy the place you're in, right? That's nice.
Exactly. And I think some of our favorite trips have been to places where we don't have like a full list of things to do and we just kind of go with the flow and enjoy. And that's really what the magic is here.
You have drinks, you have all the good restaurants, like all the good life
Beautiful
stuff.
parks.
You know, it's really amazing. But if you are a list person and you want to see like the things to do here in San Miguel, we have a video that is the top things to do here. So I'm gonna put it right here so you guys can check it out.
Merida, on the other hand, is a completely different story. So the city is great in its own right, but it's also like the gateway into the Yucatan Peninsula and the state of Yucatan, which is just like an epic part of Mexico. And that's really just like a total game changer when you start to think about planning your trip.
Exactly. From Merida, the day trips feel endless. You can do a day trip to Chichen Itza, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world, or check out Uxmal, our favorite Mayan city. You can spend a whole day swimming in beautiful cenotes, which are these incredible natural sinkholes, and they're super fun. You can jump into them all day, every day, and it's amazing. There's also Izamal, which is a beautiful city known as the Yellow City, and it is completely stunning. And there's the beautiful beaches in Sisal and Celestun, where you can find hundreds of flamingos. Honestly, guys, the amount of things to do from Merida is just, it's gonna blow your mind. So if you're looking for like a longer trip or looking for more adventure, then Merida is the answer.
It wins that round. Okay, so we got the things to do checked off, and now it's time to get into food because obviously for a lot of you coming to Mexico, food might be that one thing that kind of like tips the scales for either San Miguel or Merida. And what we can say is that one of these places definitely is one of the most incredible food cities in the entire world.
So this is genuinely really hard to compare, so bear with us because both cities, they do have amazing food scenes, but they're amazing for different reasons. San Miguel has a very diverse like food scene, a lot of international foods, a lot of Mexican foods, and it is like an interesting mix and you can really find anything you want, but it lacks like the regional flavors, like the regional like passion that you can find in the Yucatan state. Like Merida really like embraces that obsession almost with like how they prepare certain dishes, right? And that authenticity that is just like found there.
Yeah, I think if you don't know Mexican food that well, there's like certain regions that just have really, really fantastic food.
Yeah.
Merida and like the Yucatan Peninsula is one of those.
Yeah.
San Miguel, good Mexican food, not boss level food.
Yeah, exactly.
If like regional food culture is a big reason for why you travel, then Merida definitely sets itself apart here. And again, very much not saying that Merida or San Miguel does not have good food. This place does have good food. It's just Merida is just a little bit on a different level.
Exactly. That's all we're saying.
That's all we're saying. Now we'll talk about getting around these two cities, and we'll keep this one short before we jump into which one of these two towns gives you the most bang for your buck. But there are some important points here that could definitely influence which one is better for you. So first of all, San Miguel, important to note that San Miguel does not have an airport. The nearest airport is 1.5 hours away in León. And if you're wondering, what is León? You're not wrong for wondering that. So there aren't many direct flights from the US to León. So definitely take that into consideration. There's also Querétaro, which is also about 1.5 hours away, but it has a similar problem where there aren't that many direct flights from the US to Querétaro. So getting here is not super straightforward. But once you do arrive here to the Colonial Center, it's all fairly walkable. Like you won't need a car, and they do have Uber if you want to take it to go to different parts of the city. But overall, pretty walkable.
Very easy to move around.
If you take into account too, it's also very steep in some areas. So
and there's cobblestones.
So walkable if you don't have mobility issues.
Yeah.
And Merida, it does have its own international airport. It has a similar problem where there aren't that many direct flights from the US, but once you do make it to that airport, it's basically like 15 minutes outside of the historic center. So once you're there, you're there. And also many things within Merida are more or less walkable. We haven't touched on the heat yet in Merida, but we will. It gets intensely hot, so if there's anything that's more than like a 20-minute walk, you may want to take like an Uber or the local Didi,
Yeah.
but it's definitely also available to you, so that's not an issue. Okay, now that we talked about getting you here to Mexico, now we have to discuss how far your money will actually go in either San Miguel or Merida.
Yeah.
And we've lived in Mexico now for like 1.5 years, and we really shouldn't be surprised at how expensive some things feel, but at the same time, we are surprised here in
Yes.
San Miguel.
So we mentioned that San Miguel is a little bit posh, and poshness comes with
Comes with a
money.
price.
It's expensive. This is
Besitos.
not like a budget destination. So you have $8 gelatos, $20 cocktails, $80 steaks. Like, it's expensive here. I mean, obviously not everything costs that. You have like diversity, but it is not cheap. Like, it's the same as the US. In Merida, there are also nice restaurants and fine dining. And I'd say it's like, what, 20% cheaper than here? More or
Yeah.
less for like the same experience. So this is generally more expensive, and also accommodation here. I mean, it's very different. Like, there's a hotel here that's very famous and I guess iconic. It's $800 a night. Like, that's a lot of money. I mean, I'm sure it's nice, but like for Merida, for the same like style, I guess, or experience, like it's like 40% cheaper.
Yeah, so if you're worried about like how far your money can go to get kind of like a luxury experience, then Merida is definitely winning that round as well.
Yeah, by far.
We mentioned that the costs in Mexico can definitely surprise us. Another thing that tends to surprise people is the weather in these two places. And before you think, well, that's kind of boring, I don't want to talk about weather, keep in mind that the actual temperature today in Merida is 101 degrees. That's the high. Compare that to San Miguel, where it's also warm, but I think 92 is the high.
Yeah.
So a big difference. So I think this point about weather can really kind of like sway your decision. So speaking about the facts, here in San Miguel, I think the elevation is like 6,000 feet. So it is definitely cooler at night, like even now in the
Very nice.
hot season. So April, May, if you don't know, are typically the hottest months in Mexico. We're here now at the end of April. So even in the evenings, it gets down to like 60 degrees. The
It's
homes cool
lovely,
down, and
yes.
it really feels pretty good. When we lived in Merida, on the
You
other
never
hand,
get that this time of the year.
no, really, April and May are just like shockingly hot. Like, honestly, if that's when you're planning your trip, don't go. Like, it's really that extreme. And I think what's difficult about like Merida too is that it's super humid. So it's like flat. There might be a little bit of a breeze, but you're more likely to just like experience like intense humidity.
Surrounded by concrete all the time
As well, yeah.
and in the center, and it's intense, guys. Take
Yeah.
it seriously. It's intense.
So if you're someone that can't really deal with the heat very well, then that kind of tips the scales for San Miguel. If you're like, oh, that's fine, I'll just go out to the cenotes, which is highly advisable. Merida can still work. It's just you kind of have to not be outside
Yes.
that
Or
much.
also like pick the right time of the year, because if you do want to go to Merida, then like between November and February, those would be like beautiful, beautiful months. So who wins? Who wins the weather battle? San Miguel.
Yeah.
One last thing before we get to the final verdict is safety. I don't like talking about it, but like if you're traveling somewhere, like people do care. I mean, what are we gonna say? It's safe. Like Merida is considered one of the safest cities in all of Mexico, if not the safest. And San Miguel, I don't know where it stands on that list, but
Very
I mean,
safe.
very safe. Like there's nothing really to
There's-
tell here.
There's nothing that distinguishes one versus the other. Both
Yeah.
are safe.
Yes.
Todo bien. All right, and now that you've got the full picture, we're going to summarize which city is best for you, and we're going to be specific. So, San Miguel, I think this one wins if you have a shorter trip. If you're okay with like, just like a city experience and aren't too concerned about like too many things to do. I think like the major disqualifiers for San Miguel are definitely like the steepness and the cobblestone streets. So if you do have like mobility issues,
And how far the airport is too, a little bit.
that's the other
Yeah.
one as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But come here if you want a little poshness, a little niceness.
Maybe like
and-
the art and like a little bit of like that boho chic
Yeah.
vibe.
But in
It's
general,
nice here.
I'd call it like a 4-night maxer, unless you're totally okay with just taking it easy. Merida, on the other hand, like go there if you just want like adventure, you know. So like you can easily spend a week there, and it can also connect you to like the rest of the Yucatan Peninsula.
Yeah.
There are so many like incredible like cultural things to do. It's also easier to get to, but I think the disqualifier with Merida is definitely the heat. If you can't tolerate it, it's tough unless
Yeah.
you go like between November and February.
Yeah.
That's really the sweet spot.
And it's also loud and intense and like a shock to the senses of the
Yeah.
time. So if you don't like that when you travel, then obviously then pick San Miguel. And for us,
Which would you pick?
it's fun because we were talking about this last night and I was like, you would think Merida because we love Merida so much, but if I had to pick like gun to head right now and be like, hey, like you have to pick between Merida and San Miguel to live, I would 100% without thinking about it, I would pick San Miguel. If I have to go on vacation, it's like you have a week, you can pick one or the other, 100% Merida.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So kind of strange, but whatever. We hope you enjoyed the video. We hope you found it useful. Oh, there's a running doggy. Anyways, thank you for watching. Remember to get the packing quiz in the description or the top pin comment. And if you want to watch another San Miguel video or another Merida video, we'll put them here.
Gracias, muchachos.
Ciao.